You remember, just 18 political parties this time around.
Yes.
In 2019, how many were there?
78.
78.
Yes.
And so there was the headache of just how it took a lot. You know about the history and the story of what it took INEC to brainstorm on how the ballot paper was going to look.
Yes.
But this time around, I remember something days preceding the election. You remember that you brought a dummy ballot paper.
Yeah.
We were trying to show people just out. I mean, you also did it on the morning of the election. That, look, when you're going into the ballot, try to safeguard your ballot in such a way that it's not smeared around the other boxes that you have there. But it does look like there is so much of voter education that still needs to be done.
Absolutely.
But I don't know what the PVT is telling you, Something. I'll probably come to you, Mr. Ojo, in just a moment. Is there anything your PVT is telling you about how we come about this figure? First and foremost, the number of people that came out of 87 million PVCs that are in the hands of Nigerians, 25 million of them really came out for election.
Yeah, so the turnout for this election is very poor. And there are three implications. And I will just did the arithmetic. If you've got 93 million registered voters, and each of these people, your persons, are entitled to 3 ballot papers. If you multiply these by 3, it gives you 280,407,8024. So about 280 million, sheets of paper was what was produced for Saturday's election. Now, only 24 million people or 25 million people showed up. If you multiply the number of ballot papers that was issued to these people, it's about 72.8 million. If you deduct 72.8 million from 280 million, you have close to 200 million sheets of paper that are wasted. And that's taxpayers'
Say that
money.
again, Samson.
So if you reproduce...
I mean, for the sake of emphasis, I mean, there's a way figures slip and it doesn't stick in people's mind. That's why I wanted you to say it again. How many ballot papers could have been wasted or avoided?
200 million ballot papers were wasted on Saturday.
How did you get to
But
that?
if I can even weigh in on this, I'm sorry, Samson.
No, go ahead, please.
I didn't want to characterize Nigeria as a country of waste. Did you know that INEC actually had to print this same ballot paper twice, envisaging that could be run off? I won't say more than that.
Yeah, so if you put that together, because if 72 million ballot papers were issued to these accredited voters, you have about 200 million sheets of papers that have gone to waste. And if you check how much was expended per voter in this election, it was somewhere around $6 to $8 per voter. And if you multiply that, you discover that we have wasted billions of naira because people didn't show up, to cast their vote. And so that's money that could have been used for what? To provide drugs in our primary healthcare centers.
I still don't know how you came about this 200 million papers.
No, so let's do this. Let me start again. Now you have 93.4 million registered voters.
Yeah.
INEC produced the actual number of ballot papers for this 93 million. That was produced.
Is that what usually happens, Mr. Ozi?
Yes, because everybody is presumed, everybody who's name appears.
So let us go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, if on Saturday, voters were given 3 ballot papers. So if you multiply 3 times 93, it will give you 280,404,024.
Okay.
So that's the total number of sheets of papers, individual sheets of papers that were printed. Now, look at the number of accredited voters. So that's about 25 million. If you multiply 25
times 3.
25 times 3, well, I did 24, but let's use 24. If you multiply 24 million multiplied by 3, it gives you 72,859,000. So, based on this, what you have is we 72 million ballot papers were used, you know, on Saturday. If you deduct 72.8 million from 280 million, what you would have is about 208 million. So 208 million ballot papers have been wasted just by the virtue of voters not showing up.
They become like
and
old,
that's huge,
old notes.
Huge,
are going to be shredded somehow.
That's billions of naira that have gone to waste. And this is why when voters don't show up at elections, it costs the country so much.
Wow.
Because that is some money that would have been used to provide, you know, not just healthcare, but education. There's a lot, but it's gone to waste.